All right, my friends, we'll be getting into your recent release self-titled album. But before that, here at Bionic Buzz, we're all about people's passion. Where'd your passion for music come from that led you on this amazing musical journey? Was it a certain album you heard, a certain live performance you saw, or something that was natural for you as a child? Let's start with you, Trey.
Um, you know, Andrew and I really grew up watching our parents, our mother and our father. They performed like local bars, opening up for and then they would open up for like the Kentucky Headhunters, and my mom opened for Merle Haggard and Brad Paisley when he first started, and so we were kind of steeped in like traditional country, but we were always rockers at heart, and I think for Andrew, being brothers because we're blood. He got steeped really deep into Led Zeppelin, and I kind of got into the Eagles and Jackson Brown and a lot of the Laurel Canyon stuff that Wilco, Sunvolt. That was like stuff that really I dug deep into as a child, and I really wanted to write like Jackson Brown and Jay Farrar from Sunvolt. It's what I wanted to do, and so that's really what got me. I remember being like told
Oh,
to be
hold
quiet
on.
by all the.
Speaking of Andrew, I think he's joining now.
Oh, awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
But we'd walk around the house, and it was normal to see our parents sitting at the kitchen table with friends writing, and we thought that was just how everybody, every kid was doing that with their parents. And so, we saw it growing up, and it just bloomed from there. I knew from a very early age that I wanted to play music for a living. I'd sit in math class and write songs, and people were like, "You need to pay attention." I said, "No, I'm going to be a musician. Don't worry, I don't need math."
You don't need. Well, welcome, Andrew.
Man, thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having us today.
All good, man. Well, I was just asking everyone where your passion for music came from that led you on this musical journey. Was it a certain album you heard, a certain live performance, or something that was natural for you as a child?
Man, I think I'm the bass player, so I think like Trey was saying, at an early age we were like steeped in it, and I think my earliest memory of music creation was in the studio, watching Dennis Crouch, who has toured with Robert Plant and Alison Krauss, Elton John, everybody. He produced our mom's record, and she's like an Americana country singer. And like Trey was saying, we just thought that was normal, but watching like Dennis on bass and all those players, dude, like Johnny Dumplings on pedal steel, and hearing it while I was like playing with Spider-Man toys, and just and thinking, oh man, this is cool. I might want to do that one day. And
But for now, I'm playing with Spider-Man.
yeah, I'm still playing with Spider-Man today.
Me too. It's all right. What's Tyler? What about you?
I'd say my passion for music probably started with my dad's record collection. I remember growing up, we always would have records on. I was like ripping tapes of his Jimi Hendrix albums and Earth, Wind, and Fire. We had my earliest musical memories are hearing like Black Crowes and James Gang, Funk 49 on the radio. And he always had a guitar lying around. So, I started to become curious about that, and that kind of led me down my path.
Very cool. Well, let's dive into your self-titled album you released back in October. Can you tell me about the inspiration and recording process for your song Barroom Believers? I don't know who wants to take that.
Well, go ahead, Tyler. You go ahead.
Well, the idea started when we were shooting the video for our single King of Fools.
Oh, okay.
And it was a song that Trey had scratched out a verse for, and we were just sitting around at the Airbnb like before we were going to shoot, and we came up with that, but we didn't finish it until September of this year. So there's probably about 14 months difference. And we were going in, we were like, we need a few more songs to round out the album and have another single or two. And so that was in the batch of songs, and it was like the last one, the day before we were going in the studio. I was like, guys, remember that song? And so we sat down at our producer Greg's house and finished it in probably 20 minutes or something.
Yeah, it was like super fast. And when we finished the song, everybody just looked at each other and said, okay, that's top priority. We got to get this one, this one cut.
Very cool. And for the music video, did you find the church or did you know about the church?
Well,
we grew up.
Yeah.
That is right down the road from our childhood home.
Okay.
And we really tried to channel the sleaze. I want to say that my inspiration for that was definitely like Peter Popov and some of these like televangelists, that I grew up and even as a child like looking at and going like, okay, give me this first, and then Kenneth Copeland, that was by my jet. That we wanted to kind of touch on that because I feel like although we're believers, we're not like that. It's
Me too. I agree with you. They shouldn't be flying these expensive.
No.
Jets,
So we kind of touched on that with that song that you can find life and love, and I always say that if God was walking the planet today, then he wouldn't be going to the churches, he'd be going to the bar rooms. I kind of feel that way. Those are the people he hung out with.
Well, plus
you can find a congregation anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely.
Yeah, and for the music video, whose car was that? Was that any of yours, or did you borrow it? Or
I actually called a guy that's just from our hometown. This old dude, he's probably like 87 years old, and he's like, I said, hey, I heard you had some cool cars, man. And he goes, man, I just pulled this cool Ford Galaxy out of the shed. It's only been driven like 8 times in its life, and that thing looks like it was off the factory line. And I said, what color is it? And he said, bright red, cherry red. And I said, we need it. And so he drove it out, let us use it for free, and he was as cool as could be, man. And I think Trey and Tyler had a lot of fun.
We didn't want to let it go back. We
had to jump it. It hadn't been driven around in a long time. So we kept starting it and turning it off, and the battery died. And I was like, what kind of battery does this thing take? 9 volts?
It was a 9 volt. It was a 9 volt.
Dang, that's cool. All right, well, speaking of cool, your cover of Seals, "A Kiss from a Rose" was so good. What inspired you to do your own twist on this classic song?
Damn, man.
That is
I
a
think
song that's...
Go ahead, Tyler, sorry.
That is a song that is just embedded in all of our musical DNA, because we are children of the 90s, and
Batman.
Yeah, me too.
Batman Forever was like, that, you talk about like earliest musical influences, like,
yeah,
that was one of the first CDs I owned, and that soundtrack is all bangers.
Oh,
like,
wow.
in addition to Kiss from a Rose, one of the few U2 songs I like is on there. They had Flaming Lips. They had a bunch of really great music on there. So, it's just a song that like is a part of our souls.
And plus, we're all like big Batman nerds, In any chance we get to do something that has to do with Batman, we're
facts.
He's
we're
a moral and financial inspiration.
yeah, exactly.
Well, at the end of the song too, it's kind of an Easter egg. We put in the down, 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 like from the animated series.
Yeah.
But we had been toying with doing a cover, and we played some like kind of more expected covers on our live tours. We've done like Allman Brothers and stuff, and we were like, our producer was like, we need something like that people aren't going to expect if we're going to release a cover song. And like, we were down in Florida doing some shows, and our drummer Richie just happened to have a playlist on his phone going, and that song came on, and we all started singing along, and then it was like boom. And then the next thing you know, we're sitting around with a guitar, like, and we changed the time signature, and like just it came together.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm a huge Batman nerd. One of my favorite interviews of all time was I got to interview Mark Hamill, ask him about the Joker, and
that is awesome.
Sick.
So yeah. For the music video, is it a photographer, like a friend of yours in it, or?
Well, she's not even a photographer. She's just she was in King of Fools, and she's just a super cool person. Her name is Rose, and we kind of just became friends. And Jordan, who works with us and helps us out with these videos, is, you know, also friends with her. So we said, hey, we're going to shoot a video. We got a little space and we got an idea for it. And we kind of want to do a reverse Seal video, because if you watch the original Seal video, you know, so we did a reverse, you know, she was taking pictures of us, and that was kind of our nod to Seal, because I actually think that song is one of the greatest songs ever written. It really is. And to know the real story behind it, it was a failure at first. He released it before the Batman. You know, it was on like an album, and it was a failure. And he didn't think it was going to go anywhere. And then next thing you know, he's standing on a freaking rooftop of Gotham City with his shirt open, singing "Kiss from a Rose."
Thank you, Joel Schumacher.
Yeah. Enter Joel Schumacher. Yes.
Never give up on your dreams. That's amazing.
No, never. And I love that. I think that really speaks volumes, and that's another thing that speaks to my heart is that's how we all feel as a band and as brothers is don't, you know, this industry, whether it's what you're doing, you know, with interviews and talking to people, or playing, you know, or painting or whatever it is in the arts, it's not for the faint of heart. And it takes determination and a lot of, you know, strength and perseverance. And when you hear a story behind a song like that we got a chance to cut, it makes it even better for me.
Very cool. Well, before I let you guys go, anything coming up you're allowed to talk about before I let you go?
Well, we've got more music on the way. We've got a Dropbox full of 100 songs now that we've written in the last few months. You know, we're going to be touring heavy in 2026, so stay tuned for that. With some good support behind us, some good companies behind us. Got a lot of great things coming, which I guess to answer your question, not everything we can talk about completely, but it's going to be great. 2026 is going to be an incredible year. I mean, this year has been great to be able to create the music with my brothers and to put our debut album out. And, you know, we found out today it's like over 100,000 streams already on Spotify alone.
That's amazing.
You know, that's just a beautiful thing. You know, something that started out in the studio, people have given a heartbeat outside of that. And I think that's what we all dream about as musicians and as creatives, is just something that we breathe life into that somebody else is going to go, wow. And so somebody chose 100,000 times to let that into their life, into their space. And I'm just thankful, you know, for everything that's happened, everything that's coming up. I'm thankful for the t-shirt you're wearing because I love 9 Inch Nails. Just thankful for my brothers, you know, so that's 2026 is going to be great. This year is going to be great. But other than that, you know, we have Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we're very excited about both of those.
I will say we can let you know we are in the midst right now. We've been filming and we're going to continue to film our next music video for like the next push that we're doing from the album. It's a song called Send Me.
Yes.
And so we'll be releasing that video before the end of the year. So
very cool. Well, keep up the amazing work, my friends. I'm going to have our social media links down below so everyone can follow your journey going forward. And
thank you so much.
Let's talk down the road with future music, all right?
Brother, sounds good.
Rock and roll,
man.